What's poppin', guys? It's your boy Jono, and today in this video, as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about 5 things that I like about the A7S2. Alright, now for me, one of the main reasons why I got this camera is because I personally was looking for a beast. You get me? I was looking for a beast. I've owned this camera for about, I would say about a year now, and I've shot many different videos with this camera as well as photos. I'll get into that a little bit later. This camera, the A7S2, is primarily for video. Now this 5 isn't really going to be in order, but I would say number 1, how small this camera is. Now a lot of people say that that's a bad thing. Okay, for me right now I'm vlogging on the A7S2. Yes, I'm vlogging right now on the A7S2. Now for me, this camera was mainly supposed to be my music video camera. Okay, and you know, when I got it, I started producing with it, and one thing I don't do is I don't limit myself on creativity. No matter what camera you have, no matter what people tell you you're supposed to do, make sure that you guys are always pushing yourself to the limit. Now, I'm vlogging on this camera. It's small enough to fit on my tripod without it leaning over or being too heavy, as well as it's giving me the quality that I'm looking for. Okay, being that it's small, it fits whenever I need to get handheld shots. I can get right in there. I personally have dealt with a lot of different cameras, from your Canons, Sonys, Reds, Panasonic GH4s, like you name it. I've touched that camera. You get me? So I've had my share when it comes to having experience dealing with heavy cameras and having experience dealing with smaller cameras. Like a Red is a really big camera. It's not something that you could vlog on. You get me? Now that's not something that you could use for every scenario. That's mainly for music videos, cinematic videos, etc. Now this camera, now honestly, in my opinion, this camera is one of my favorite cameras on the market right now. I think that it's a baby red. Everybody always laughs when I say it, but this camera is like a baby red. Number 2, now using a native lens, you get the most out of this camera. Coming from Canon, all my lenses were Canon lenses, and I had to get an adapter, so a lot of my lenses weren't native. I personally feel if you have a native lens on this camera, such as the 24-70 G Master, that's my favorite lens for this camera. I feel like it produces the best quality. I feel like the amount of depth of field that lens allows this camera to produce is beyond crazy for this setup. This camera runs around, when I got it, it was on the market, just the body alone, for like $2,400. Right now you can get this camera, I believe, for maybe $2,200. I'm not sure, don't quote me. It might be $2,000, I'm not really sure. You know, working with Sony, working with S-Log, a lot of my videos, like music videos, I shoot S-Log 3. Now, that profile is not completely flat, but it is flat. It allows me to really dive into my color grade. Not everybody can edit on a flat profile. A lot of people complain, saying that it's hard to work with, but if you know how to color grade properly, you can definitely get some good color grading out of that profile. I'm gonna try to drop some clips right here for you so you guys can see, but when you shoot 4K on this camera, it's super crispy with a native lens. So number 3 would be the color in video. Now I love Sony colors in video. I feel like it's the richest color. I feel like it's the closest to red as well. Now coming from Canon, a lot of people who've shot Canon, they can say that everybody says Canon colors are the best. Now for me, I have a different feeling. My first camera, believe it or not, was actually a Canon T5i. Now that camera, I always said that was the best colors. Like, I just love Canon colors. But then when I got Sony, now working with video, I personally would say Canon has the best colors for photo. You can't beat it. You just can't. There's no arguing about it. Canon has the most beautiful colors. Number 4 would be the settings on this camera. Now, I've worked with Panasonic, I've worked with Canon, I've worked with Red, I've worked with a lot of different cameras, and you know, when it comes to your settings, sometimes it is super convenient when you have certain presets. Like right now I have a couple different shortcuts. Certain buttons are for certain things, and the settings on this camera I feel like is just super easy to use. You know, if I need to shoot videos, if I need to shoot with video, just switch it to video. If I need to shoot back with photos, switch it back to photo. But it's super easy to use. You know, shifting through the settings, going to 4K, or if you got to go back to shooting slow mo, so you want to shoot, you know, at another frame rate, you know, you can definitely do that with this camera. Number 5 would be the fact that you can shoot at 120 frames per second. Now, shooting at 120 frames per second, it's definitely a better frame rate. You know, a lot of cameras go to 60. You know, a lot of these cameras, they normally go to 60. This particular camera, you're able to go to 120. Now, going to 120, you're able to shoot super slow and get really crispy B-roll. You know, when you're shooting B-roll, having a 120 frame rate will definitely make your videos as slow as possible and as crisp as possible without losing any data while you're shooting. So yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps it up today. I got home super late. I was on the road earlier all day. I just wanted to get some content for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to push out as much content for you guys as possible, so definitely like this video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.